Donald Trump's rallies were once the talk of the town, electrifying arenas filled with enthusiastic supporters ready to hear his bold declarations and controversial promises. These events were not just campaign stops, they were spectacles, featuring chants, fiery speeches, and the unmistakable sea of red MAGA hats. However, the once-unyielding loyalty Trump inspired in his followers seems to be dwindling. Empty chairs, thinning crowds, and early walkouts have become recurring themes at his recent speeches, painting a picture of a leader struggling to hold on to his once captive audience. This video dives into the strange and telling phenomenon of Trump's waning crowd sizes, examining the underlying causes, comparisons with his political opponents, and what this shift could mean for his future in American politics. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to reaching 5,000 subscribers, but we can't do it without you. So, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe right now. And if you're already subscribed, give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment to let me know your thoughts. Alright, let's dive right into it. The decline in Trump's rallies. Trump's rallies were once packed to the brim with supporters cheering him on, hoping to make America great again. His larger-than-life persona and unapologetic rhetoric drew crowds from all walks of life. But over the past few months, his rallies have been met with a starkly different response. From Michigan to Pennsylvania, attendees have been seen leaving mid-speech, prompting speculation that Trump's influence may be waning. In Michigan, a recent rally was visibly undersized. Photos and videos captured swaths of empty seats, a sight that was unimaginable during the height of his previous campaigns. And it wasn't just in Michigan. Similar scenes unfolded in Georgia, Pennsylvania, and even his supposed stronghold states. In Georgia, reports showed people walking out halfway through his speech, while in Pennsylvania, empty sections grew more conspicuous as the rally progressed. What used to be wall-to-wall crowds of fired-up supporters now seemed like gatherings of polite attendees, occasionally clapping but nowhere near the fervor Trump once inspired. The visuals were jarring. Trump, who once boasted of his unbeatable crowd sizes, was visibly unnerved. Witnesses described his speeches as rambling and unfocused, more akin to a stand-up comedy routine than a serious political address. He repeatedly referenced his crowd sizes, calling them the largest in history, and when reality didn't match up, he blamed the media, Democrats, and anyone else he could think of. But the images didn't lie. Trump's crowds were thinning, and people were noticing. Contrasts with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's campaigns. On the other hand, Vice President Kamala Harris and President Joe Biden have seen a surge in public interest. Recent appearances by Harris, for instance, in places like Houston and Madison, Wisconsin, were met with enthusiastic crowds, filling the venues to capacity. This stark contrast became a talking point not just for Democrats but also for some media outlets who questioned Trump's ongoing influence and ability to galvanize his base. Harris's events have been a sharp contrast to Trump's recent rallies. Her speeches have been described as uplifting, focused on unity, and presenting detailed plans to address issues affecting American families. In Washington, D.C., Harris reportedly drew a crowd of over 100,000, dwarfing Trump's turnout in several states. Her messaging around being a president for all Americans seems to resonate with a broader audience, while Trump's divisive rhetoric might be alienating some of his past supporters. Even former President Barack Obama has joined the fray, adding his own take on Trump's obsession with crowd sizes. During a recent speech, Obama commented on Trump's fixation with attendance numbers, mocking him for focusing on gripes and grievances rather than addressing real issues. Obama pointed out that while Americans are looking for leadership and vision, Trump's campaign events have turned into little more than self-pitying sessions, driving some of his most ardent supporters away. Trump's obsession with crowd sizes. The irony here is thick. Trump has long prided himself on his ability to pull in massive crowds, often citing this as proof of his popularity and influence. However, as more people began to leave his events early, Trump's tone shifted from boastful to bitter. In a recent speech, He lashed out at Harris and Biden, claiming they paid people to attend their events, a move that many saw as desperate. In an almost surreal twist, Trump recently accused Kamala Harris of using AI-generated crowd images to inflate her attendance numbers. "She's cheating," he proclaimed, dubbing her a cheater who resorts to fake crowds. Trump's accusations only added to the odd spectacle, leading some to question his grasp on reality. The fact that he continues to harp on crowd sizes, rather than addressing issues, suggests a shift in priorities that could be contributing to the loss of supporters. Walkouts as a new norm. The walkouts have become a defining feature of Trump's rallies. Video footage shared by attendees shows rows of people leaving mid-speech, visibly bored or disinterested. In Wildwood, New Jersey, an event marketed as a must-attend gathering turned out to be a letdown, with less than 10,000 people showing up. Trump's team attempted to inflate the numbers, claiming over 120,000 people attended, but a closer look revealed that the venue wasn't even half full. Several political commentators have noted that these walkouts are more than just a passing trend. They could signal a larger disillusionment with Trump's brand of politics, particularly among the working-class voters who once flocked to him in droves. Interviews with some attendees revealed a mix of disappointment and fatigue. "I've heard it all before," said one attendee who left early from a rally in Pennsylvania. "It's the same speech every time." The possible causes of Trump's decline. There are several factors at play here. First, Trump's repeated claims of being a victim have started to wear thin. While his base may have once sympathized with his grievances, repeated accusations of conspiracy against him, combined with constant complaints about media treatment, have left some feeling disillusioned. Many attendees express frustration, saying they came to hear about policies, not grievances. Second, Trump's polarizing statements, especially his frequent attacks on prominent figures like Kamala Harris and Liz Cheney, may have alienated some of his former supporters. In a recent rally, Trump made shocking remarks implying that Cheney should be executed, a comment that drew immediate backlash. Such rhetoric, while energizing for a small fraction of his base, has alienated moderate Republicans and undecided voters. Lastly, there's the issue of age and stamina. Trump's speeches, once electrifying, have become rambling and disorganized. His obsession with relitigating the 2020 election, combined with bizarre references to crowd-sized conspiracies, has turned some supporters away. A comparison with the 2020 election cycle. To truly understand Trump's crowd struggles, it's essential to look back at his previous campaigns. In 2020, Trump's rallies were packed with people who believed in his vision for America. He played to the crowd's energy, creating a feedback loop that left his supporters feeling energized and emboldened. Yet, as we approach another election, that dynamic seems to have shifted. The pandemic, a challenging economy, and shifting political winds have created a climate in which Trump's divisive approach is losing its appeal. Media reactions and public perception. Trump's dwindling crowds have not gone unnoticed. Mainstream media outlets and even some right-leaning publications have covered the phenomenon extensively, offering theories on what might be driving people away. Social media, too, has been abuzz with videos and photos of empty seats, fueling conversations about Trump's influence. Political analysts have pointed out that the lack of crowds could signal deeper issues within the GOP. As Trump continues to dominate the Republican narrative, there's a growing sense that his brand of politics may be losing relevance. Many are looking to figures like Harris and Biden, who offer a more unified and hopeful message, as potential leaders for a divided nation. The image of empty chairs at Trump's rallies speaks volumes. A leader once heralded for his ability to attract massive crowds now faces walkouts and empty venues. While his supporters still exist, the fervor and devotion that characterized his earlier campaigns appear to be fading. The reasons for this shift are complex, involving a mix of Trump's polarizing rhetoric, fatigue from constant grievances, and a changing political climate that favors messages of unity over division. As we approach the next election, the phenomenon of Trump's empty rallies could serve as a harbinger of things to come. Will his once loyal supporters find a new voice, or will they stay with him despite the empty chairs and dwindling numbers? One thing is clear. The days of Trump's unchallenged popularity may be over, replaced by a more nuanced and complex landscape in American politics.